Shield tactics. Over the past few centuries, weapons technology has progressed by leaps and bounds, and recently developed equipment that is only a few years old runs the risk of becoming obsolete. In this modern age of nearly constant innovation, the shield, a piece of technology with its origins in the distant past, has been given a new purpose even in the 21st century. Shields have been vital to warfare since prehistory, where early warriors protected themselves against attacks from their enemies using shields, which were initially made from organic materials such as wood and leather. After the development of metallurgy, they incorporated metals, including bronze and later iron. As more structured societies developed, warfare became more organized, and shields remain the most powerful defensive weapon in a warrior's kit. While they are an effective tool in protecting a single warrior, it was soon discovered that their protective and offensive qualities can be magnified if used in a collective formation, with soldiers offering mutual support to each other. Among the first to utilize this principle were the ancient Greeks, who organized their soldiers into a densely packed mass of men called a phalanx. Though its exact structure changed over the centuries, they all featured ranks of men with their hoplons, or circular shields, overlapping their neighbors, presenting the enemy with an unbroken and seemingly impenetrable wall of bronze. Formations relying on shields developed further under the Roman Republic and later Empire. After transitioning from part-time warriors to a professional force of full-time soldiers, the Romans devised a series of formations for its legionaries to utilize, many of which were centered around the use of the scutum, a rectangular convex shield with dimensions of between 37 to 42 inches tall and 24 to 33 inches wide. After the fall of the Roman Empire, a wide variety of shields continued to be used for centuries by armies around the world, used in mass formations as well as for self-defense. They would eventually fall out of favor as changes in technology, such as improved armor and the introduction of firearms, would render them obsolete. In the 20th century, however, shields were revitalized, not on the battlefield, but in the equally chaotic and dangerous world of law enforcement. As a response to civil unrest in the latter half of the 20th century, police agencies developed specialized tactics and equipment with the purpose of suppressing and controlling riots. The centerpiece of the newly created gear was the riot shield. Though there are a wide array of these shield types, they are usually made from clear plastic, giving the officers unobstructed vision while still remaining safe behind the protective barrier of the shield, though other variants made of metal and ballistic materials are also available. While trying to disperse or contain riots or other civil unrest events, there are a myriad of tactics riot shield-equipped police can utilize. Many of these tactics bear a striking parallel to their more ancient counterparts. The most basic shield tactic used by modern riot police is a shield wall. Historically, this formation was the standard formation utilized by armies whose infantry were equipped with shields. The combatants would stand shoulder to shoulder, their shields overlapping, presenting an unbroken wall to the enemy. In the modern day, as in the past, this has a profound psychological effect.
Hey guys, we've got an announcement. We've launched a Simple History Discord server. We'd love for you guys to just come over and drop by, join the community, talk about history. You can even give video suggestions. You can talk about past episodes. We have a little few sneak peeks about future episodes and get to know some of the community and the team behind Simple History. We're going to be there for a while, and we plan on big things for this server. So give us a few minutes of your time, come on by, say hi, and we'll see you there.
Seeing a solid wall of uniformed police, many rioters will simply see the futility of their position and disperse, completing the main goal of law enforcement. This is facilitated by officers leaving gaps in their formation, allowing those who wish to leave the route to do so. Those who stand and fight will face a steadfast mass of steadily advancing officers, armed with batons and other less than lethal devices, and be quickly apprehended. As time progressed, riot suppression techniques became more sophisticated, and riot police had a wide array of formations available to them, many inspired by, or at the least, bearing a striking resemblance to their ancient counterparts. In ancient Rome, as well as in many other historic militaries, units would be arrayed in blocks, with a front line, reserves, and command and control sections. This allowed tactical flexibility, enabling them to respond quickly to rapid changes in a chaotic situation. In modern policing, riot police will array themselves in similar ways, with a front block facing the crowd, command and control behind them, and another block behind that, providing security to the rear, or being used as reserves should more manpower be necessary. The rear ranks can also become the front ranks should the police be surrounded or the rioters shift their position. In addition to simple lines and blocks, law enforcement in the modern day has a diverse selection of specific formations and tactics both to protect the officers as well as restore order in a chaotic situation. The most iconic of these was the Roman testudo, meaning tortoise in Latin. It involves the interlocking of shields in the front rank, while those behind raise their shields overhead, creating a roof. This formation was utilized against enemy missile attacks from slingshot stones, arrows, and javelins. While it is unlikely that modern police will face these same weapons, those sent to maintain order in the face of civil unrest will be assaulted by a number of projectiles, including bricks, rocks, Molotov cocktails, or whatever else rioters have on hand. One of the most common types of riot shields is large, convex, and rectangular, which bears a striking resemblance to the Roman scutum. Modern police have adopted a testudo-like formation, where the front ranks interlock large shields while those behind lift their shields above their heads, protecting themselves from incoming debris. Though not effective against firearms, as most riot shields are not ballistic, they do offer a high level of defense against most thrown objects riot control officers may be subjected to. Another tactic is a wedge formation. This maneuver concentrates the impact of an attacking force on a single point, breaking the defender's cohesion. The breach is then expanded by the rest of the formation. The Romans made extensive use of this tactic, most famously at the Battle of Watling Street, where Roman wedges drove deep into Queen Boudicca's Britons, breaking through their lines and causing confusion in their army, which was eventually crushed by the legionaries. In modern-day policing, a wedge formation has a similar function, enabling smaller numbers of officers to engage larger numbers of rioters. Such a formation can break an unruly crowd into a more manageable size. Ideally, the main aim of riot police is crowd dispersal, and once isolated from the rest of the mass, the rioters will lose their willingness to carry on and leave. Those that continue to resist can easily be dealt with. The wedge formation can also be modified to form a diamond shape, allowing the officers to penetrate a group of rioters to arrest specific individuals, pulling them into the formation while still being protected in all directions. Police can also use a circular formation for this very same purpose. While the main focus of riot suppression is on crowd dispersal, in some instances, apprehending those participating in the unrest becomes a priority. To this end, law enforcement have developed a technique known as kettling. This is when the police surround the angry hostile mob. Like the tea kettle it is named after, gaps are left, controlled by the police, allowing those who wish to leave the option of doing so, like steam leaving a tea kettle. Those who remain, or those identified as ringleaders, can then be arrested. To accomplish this, barriers such as metal or concrete barricades can be set up to funnel rioters to an advantageous position for arrest. The advancing officers can then move against the crowd in lines, or in echelon, or diagonal line. This is an offensive formation which can push the crowd into the designated area for arrest or away from areas needing protection. Advancing in echelon has a long history and has been used by outnumbered forces to gain the advantage over their opponents. It was pioneered by the Theban general Epaminondas, who used the tactic to win a stunning victory at the Battle of Leuctra in 371 BC. Most famously, it was used by Alexander the Great at the Battle of Gaugamela. There, Macedonian phalanxes, though outnumbered by a wide margin, defeated their Persian counterparts, driving them from the field at what is considered Alexander's greatest triumph. While the technology may change, what was once considered outdated has been given new purpose in the modern age. As long as riot police still use shields, formations of the ancient and medieval world will still find a use well into the 21st century.